Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahana Wahid, and today we will study pharmacotherapy. What is pharmacotherapy? Pharmacotherapy is the treatment of disease through the administration of drugs, and the main object of the pharmacotherapy is the person's quality of life. Pharmacotherapy is basically responsible for ensuring the safe, appropriate and economical use of the medicines for direct patient care. It means in pharmacotherapy we will discuss certain treatments of the diseases, and we will discuss how we administer the drug, and furthermore we ensure the safe therapy of a drug. Moreover, the economical use of the medicine is also important for the direct patient care, because sometimes the medicines are so expensive that they are out of reach from the patients कि वो उसको afford नहीं कर सकते. So economical point of view is also very important for the patient. What is the importance of pharmacotherapy? How it helps us? It helps us for the proper use of the medicines and for the proper rational use of the drugs. It avoids and reduces the drug reactions and toxicity by highlighting, as we know that there are several drugs which are taken by a person concurrently for different types of disorder which a person facing simultaneously. So there may be a person, for example, we can say कि एक person है, if may suffering from diabetes can also suffering from hypertension. So he has to take two different types of medicines to cope up the symptoms of these two disorders. At a time, there may be chance of adverse drug reactions, and pharmacotherapy is focused to reduce the adverse drug reactions and toxicity, which is drug-induced toxicity. And an important aspect is the maintenance of the cost at optimum level. Furthermore, it ensures the patient compliance, and it also exploit the knowledge by made of the scientists. जो भी latest technology है, जो भी latest research है, वो भी pharmacotherapy का part है. These are also important as many infectious agents are also present in the hospitals. The patients again get infected in the hospital by when they are coming to the hospital. And they also the healthcare personnel and healthcare workers may also be get infected during the course of their duties, and other people may be infected when working or interacting with these types of patients in a healthcare establishment. So it is a two-way process. Patients may contaminate the healthcare system, or healthcare system may contaminate the patient's quality of the life. So healthcare associated infections could occur in any healthcare setting. For example, it may be happen in hospital, it may be happen in general practice, in a day surgery centers, in a nursing services, in a residential aged care centers, in community services, or for the services in which there may be certain surgical processes are occur, for example, dentistry and podology and so on. So it is very important to take certain quality control measures to reduce the healthcare associated infections. So very much precaution is also taken place at the workplace so that to reduce the spread of these type of infections and minimizing the infection agent at the work premises. However, if they occur, then what will be the treatment criteria for the physician to cope up these types of infections? For that purpose, we have to proper understand the difference between the normal flora and the typical pathogens, which will help us to determine whether a patient is truly infected or merely colonized. For example, if the person has a normal flora, then it has a less chance to get infected with typical pathogens, because normal flora will fight them and reduce their colonization in the body. Then we have to do certain, then the physician has to do certain direct examination of the tissue and body fluids, and it gives the rapid information about the causative pathogen. For example, if there is a throat infection, then sputum sample will all give the information of the causative agent. Either it may be the gram positive or gram negative by gram staining. Then these type of causative organism can easily isolated from the person, and they they are grow on the culture or rapid diagnostic testing kits. These are available which will help and assist the doctor or physician for the diagnosis of the infections and allow the physician for more definitely directed treatment. As the development of the antibiotics and the very most common use of the antibiotics, there is the emergence of the resistance, and due to this emergence of resistance, time to time the ability and the susceptibility of the antibiotic towards the microorganism will decline. यानी आज जो है हमारे पास effective है strain, may be possible it may be resistant for the in future. So there is a limitation that the condition cannot be found at the site of an infection. Okay, there may be a change in the susceptibility, and certain test has to be determined to determine the cause and to determine the susceptibility of the माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म अगेंस्ट दी एंटीबायोटिक कि जो हम एंटीबायोटिक हम यूज कर रहे हैं वो इफेक्टिव है या नहीं है. इट शुड बी चेक स्पेशली फॉर दोज इन्फेक्शंस जो कि टर्शियरी केयर्स में हैं और जिसमें मोस्टली हमारे पास इन्फेक्शंस में जो है हमारे पास चांसेस नहीं है, ऑप्शंस नहीं है, तो उसमें फिर ये चेकिंग बहुत जरूरी है. So laboratory evaluation of the antimicrobial activity is very important, and it is a main part of the pharmacotherapeutic management of the infectious disease. And when it is used, usually it is used to improve the therapeutic outcome of the patient, especially if they are linked with other clinical information system. These tests act as the minimum inhibitory and minimum bacterial concentration test, in which one we can determine the amount of the dose of the antibiotic needed to effectively kill the microorganism. Time kill test is another test, post antibiotic effect test, and antimicrobial combination testing. These are some type of testing which are usually performed by the clinician to understand and they help to determine the antimicrobial pharmacodynamic property as well as. So these are the routine monitoring of the culture, and the routine so furthermore some routine monitoring of the serum concentration is currently also used for a selection of the antimicrobial. For example, in case of aminoglycoside and vancomycin, it is very important. These routine monitoring is important, and furthermore the collection of the sampling serum samples is also very important when measures the antimicrobial serum concentration, and it ensures that the proper data is generated which highlights the exact pharmacokinetics of the antimicrobials. As we all know that aminoglycosides are those drugs which are reserved for the hospital acquired infections and certain infections which are not manageable at home, as these are available as parenteral forms. So these aminoglycosides concentration are used and they can help to maximize the probability of the therapeutic success, and they will minimize the probability of the aminoglycoside related toxicity. What is the toxicity of the aminoglycoside? Revise it. Okay, aminoglycosides are basically nephrotoxic and ototoxic. So monitoring of aminoglycoside serum concentration is mandatory. Then we have vancomycin. The vancomycin is also a dangerous type of antimicrobial, but it is reserved for those highly resistant type of the infections. Even though now the vancomycin resistant strains are also present in the hospitals. So antimicrobial pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics both are important for the selection of the pathogen directed therapy and for the determination of the current era of the antimicrobial resistant. This is the brief information or introduction of the pharmacotherapy of the infections. Then we will briefly discuss the types of antibiotics, types of antimicrobials available. We will very briefly discuss it, and then we will go to the case study, which is the main topic of the today's lecture.